Namaste yogis, welcome to your practice. My name is Stephen from YogaWorks and today's practice is called the double espresso. Sometimes when you wake up in the morning, you just want to hit it hard, just get it into your body, and this is not terribly intense practice, but it's a little bit more intense than maybe some of the other practices that we've done here on the online program. And in this practice, what I'm also going to do differently is I'll keep the instructions to a bit of a minimum so that you could stay in a little bit of a quiet space, having just woken up, move through a strong movement practice in about half an hour or so, and see if we can make a good difference in how we start our day in this way. So let's get straight to it. And we're going to start in downward facing dog. And we'll hold this for about a minute. A minute is not long, but it's also not short. It's like a good amount of time to start to feel your body and to welcome yourself onto your mat. And if you want, you can always bend one knee at a time, walk the legs out. It's a nice stretch for the calves and the backs of the legs. And we're about half a minute in, half a minute to go, and see if you can become still for a moment. Press your hands down, the feet down, feel 4 points of support, pressing down equally. Get the breath flowing a little bit more smoothly and fully. And then start to walk the feet forward. Our second pose, we'll also hold this for a minute, is chair pose. So bend your knees a good amount. Just check with the fingertips. They should be touching down. Keep the knees that bent and lift the arms. And often we rush through this pose. It's like done in the middle of a sun salutation or something. But now we'll be holding it for a little bit longer. So see if you can move the hips a little bit back so that your knees go a bit back as well. You should be able to see your toes when you look down. And lift the arms with some intention. And then look forward as you still sit down with the hips. Let me check the time. We have about 10 seconds left. And that definitely does work your quads and the hips and the core in a really great way. Last 3, 2, 1, and then slowly release. Our third pose we're going to hold for a minute just to get started with the bang. In our double espresso is the forward fold. You can always bend your knees, or if it's okay to straighten the legs, then go for that. You can make it more relaxing, just hanging down, holding elbows, or you can make it slightly more active with the hands behind the calves or the heels. And then just drop in. We're creating space around the midsection, around the belly. Especially when you exhale, can you draw the belly in and up so that you create more space for the spine to fold forward. Often we have to bring a little bit more weight into the front of the feet here in this pose. So see if you can get the toes, the balls of the feet to ground down as much as the heels. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend the knees slightly. If you haven't already, slowly roll up to standing. Let's walk to the top of the mat and we'll go straight into some sun salutations and some standing poses after that. Here we go. Inhale, lift the arms, look up and reach through the fingers. Exhale, dive down and fold. Inhale, flat back, stretch your heart forward. Exhale, fold down again. You can always soften the knees. Inhale, rise, go all the way up. This is a half sun salute to get into a nice rhythm of breath. Exhale, hands to heart. Continue, inhale. All the way up. Exhale, fold from the hips and lengthen. Inhale, lengthen more, straight forward, flat back. Exhale, fold in Uttanasana. Inhale to rise all the way up. Reach, full stretch. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, lift the arm. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lengthen the spine forward. Exhale, come into squat. Inhale in squat. Exhale, forward fold again. You can wiggle the feet as you need to. Inhale, all the way back up. Exhale, hands to heart. One more like these. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Hinge from the hips. Inhale, flat back, heart goes way forward. Exhale, squat. You might have to wiggle the feet a bit wider. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hands to heart. Sun salutation A. Keep with the same rhythm. Inhale. Exhale, hinge from the hips. Inhale, strong back for flat back. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Of course, you can step back as well if you prefer. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take 5 slow breaths here. A moment of peace and quiet, simple grounding and tuning into the breath. Good. Inhale, bend your knees, look to the front. You can walk to the front or lightly hop. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, root to rise, go all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. One more like this. Inhale. Exhale, let the breath move you. Inhale, strong back. Exhale, plant the hands, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog, or you can do cobra or locust instead. Exhale to down dog. Pause. Hit your pause button. In yoga, the pause button is the breath. To pause movements in the body and to pause movements in the mind, which is thoughts and plans and ruminations. One more inhale. Exhale. Good. Inhale, bend your knees, look to the front. Exhale, hop or walk. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Rise, inhale all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. Sun salutation B, to keep warming up the body, tuning into the breath. Stay with it, bend your knees. Inhale, chair. Utkatasana. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, flat back, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, Chaturanga, Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Step your right foot forward, left heel down, warrior one. Exhale, go straight down into Chaturanga. No break. Inhale, lifts you up, back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog and step the left foot forward, right heel down. Inhale, lift the arms, full stretch. Exhale, Chaturanga, lower down or halfway down. Inhale, upward facing, strong legs. Exhale, downward facing dog. Pause. I've got 5 breaths. If at any time you need more of a break, you can lower your knees down, of course. There's always child's pose. But it could be nice to keep the heat going, the energy flowing through the body, and to wake up in the best way possible. All the benefits of the double espresso without the shakes afterwards. Here we go. Inhale, bend your knees, look to the front, press your fingertips down as you float to the front. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Bend your knees, inhale, chair pose. Exhale, hands relaxed next to the body, mountain. One more of these. Bend your knees, inhale, chair, sit down low. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, chaturanga step or hop. Inhale, upward facing dog, broaden the chest. Exhale, downward facing dog, step right foot forward, left heel down. Your next inhale, lift all the way up as you bend the front knee. Exhale, straight down, chaturanga, bend the elbows. Inhale for upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog, left foot forward, right heel down. Inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, forward fold, not forward fold, chaturanga, and your back bend. Into down dog, we've got another little pause, 5 breaths in our down dog. It's often easier to keep the mind still as we're moving vigorously. As soon as we pause, the mind says, I can now drift off into all kinds of future things and past things and imaginations. See if you can't gather your attention from all the corners of your yoga mat. It seems to spread out. Good. Inhale, bend your knees, look to the front. Exhale, step, hop, land softly. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold deeper using the belly. Bend your knees, inhale, chair. Relax into Tadasana, the mountain. Hands to heart, take a slow breath in. Take a slow breath out. Good, open the feet a little bit wider. Squat. Malasana. Lift the chest a little bit. We're moving back to the end of the mat, so you could just step there. You can move through a vinyasa. Or if you want to play a little bit, then you can come in a crow pose at the front of the mat. Lift the heels high to the buttocks. And maybe step back or hop back to chaturanga. Slow vinyasa, there's no rush. And exhale, downward facing dog. Step your right foot forward, left heel down. Warrior 2, open the arms wide and stretch your fingertips away from each other. A breath or two to pause in the shape, to not rush through even as we're moving quite continuously. We still want to pay attention to each pose and do them well. Then some options, side angle. You can have hand on the front knee, front hand down, or I'm going to do the full bind just to get into the shoulders and the chest a little bit more. You can choose which option works for you. Whichever one you're doing, roll the left shoulder back and press the feet down equally. Slowly release, stepping to half moon pose, Ardha Chandrasana. Right hand a bit forward and to the side of the front foot. Lift the left arm, left leg. You can stay here, or you can find the bind holding the left ankle or foot and kicking it back into the hand. Nice little back bend here. You can broaden the chest. Kick the left foot into the hand And feel the opening in the front of left hip, left thigh. One more breath. Gently release with control. Step back, warrior two. I know the front leg is on fire. Hands down, do your thing, slow vinyasa. Or there's always down dog and child's pose if you need to slow down. Down dog, step the left foot forward, right heel down. Open the arms, warrior two, Virabhadrasana two. Take a moment, find your full expression of the pose. I'm saying your full expression, which means not somebody else's. Find yours. Side angle pose, with or without the bind. See where you get to. This side seems a little bit easy for me. My left shoulder seems to be a bit more open in this internal rotation, but if you can't get into the full version, then don't worry about it for a second. You're still going to get all the double espresso effects. And then release that bind, go straight to half moon pose, Ardha Chandrasana. Reach up through the top hand, top leg. And maybe, like we've done before, hold the foot and kick it back. Nice back bending elements in our balance here. You can even lean the head back ever so slightly. It's almost like bow pose, standing on a leg. Release that with control. Bend the front knee. How softly can you land? Warrior two. Just for a moment. Inhale. Exhale. Chaturanga. Inhale. Upward facing dog. Shoulders back. Exhale. Downward facing dog. Take a breath. From here, step right foot forward, high lunge this time. Keep the back heel lifted, lift arms. Find your foundation, your grounding, and then backstroke the arms back and stretch the clasped hands away from the lower back. Nice. Start to lean forward with the heart and with the head. Push that front foot down a lot. Stay here and then lean forward even more. You might step the back foot in a little bit until it floats up into warrior three. Keep the clasp of the hands if you can. 3, 2, 1. Release the hands down. Standing splits. Fold over the right leg. Juice up the top leg, reach it up. Either stay here or fold forward at the front, or if you like go upside down like me, then plant your hands down and do a couple of hops with the left leg up. Maybe finding a moment in handstand or just hopping up and down, which will eventually teach you how to balance in the middle of the room. Maybe one day you won't come down. Oops, by accident, you stayed up in a handstand. Take a breath. Good. Downward dog. Left foot forward. Right heel stays up. High lunge. Lift the arms. Strong back leg, but if you need to bend that right knee a little bit, there's no problem. You can still keep it strong as you do that. Reach the hands back, clasp them together. Stretch your knuckles away from the back. Pull the shoulders back. And then stretch your head forward. Almost lying that front thigh, get heavy on that left foot. Wiggle the right foot up closer and hopefully lift it up. Warrior 3. Stretch forward and back. 3, 2, 1. Release the hands. Standing splits. See where you get to. Stretch out through the top leg and fold, reaching down with the crown of the head in front of the left foot somewhere. Either stay here or taking the opportunity to play around a little bit. Nothing serious, we're just exploring. Couple of hops. Maybe handstand. Fold forward, top of the mat. Relax. Get the breath, slow down. Let the body soften. Nice. Crow pose. Here we go. You can start in a squat. Actually, what's often nicer to get into crow, but easier, is to place the feet all the way together. And then from here, open the knees wide. And it's just mimicking the shape of crow even before we're in it. Fold forward with the chest and the shoulders almost between the knees somewhere, if you can. And then keep your arms low. Press the arms in front of the knees or the shins. And then lift the hips high. So that you don't have to lift up a huge amount to get into crow. It's almost more like leaning forward, not lifting up from the ground. Push the hands down. Start to lean the chest forward. Squeeze your knees onto your upper arms. Try lift one foot. Maybe lift the other foot. And hold. If you want to clean up your crow, here's a few tips. If your legs are hanging down, then point your toes. Lift the heels to your buttocks. And if you still have some juice left, then push the hands down more to straighten the arms, which is crane pose. Okay, squat malasana. And I'll show you my favorite way to get into side crow, which is our last more intense pose before we relax a little bit. So place your hands in front of you, like down dog. Knees are together. And then here, just hop off your mat on the left side. So your hands haven't changed, they're still facing forward. You can walk a bit closer if you need to. Knees are together. Knees, toes, fingers point in the same direction. Forward on the mat. Now squeeze your knee onto your left elbow, upper arm, and lean forward. Lean forward, lean forward, lean forward. Maybe the feet come off the mat. If they don't, then just do any part of the pose that is available. Come back down in case you haven't already. Usually with arm balances, I don't have to say come back down because you're already down, including myself. So hop to the other side of the mat. Hands still face forward, nothing has changed. Fingers, toes, knees all facing the same direction. Squeeze the knees together like you just have one single leg. It's going to help a lot. And then lift the knees a bit higher. Place them on that bent elbow. Lean the chest forward. And maybe scrunch your side so that the feet lift. And then slowly come down. Probably didn't need to say that again, but there you are. And lie down on your back. Take a few breaths. Just a little prep, lift halfway back up and pull your right heel next to right buttock into half hero pose. And then start to lean back. You can straighten that left leg out, or you can keep it bent. If this feels too tense on that right quad, then you might need to elevate the hips a bit so you're sitting up on a block instead. Couple of breaths to create some length in the front of that right thigh and hip. And also to get a breather after moving quite actively in our double espresso flow. And then release the right leg forward. Bend the left heel, so it's just next to my left hip. You won't be able to see this side, but I'm sure you know what to do. And you can walk a little bit back. A little bit might be enough. Maybe you're sitting up on a block. Some people will lie all the way down. I actually prefer to stay on the elbows. For me, that's enough stretch for the anterior left leg here. Slowly release. Swing the left leg forward and lie down. Bridge pose, prepare for bridge. Place your feet quite close to the hips, but keep a little distance. It's different for everybody, so it's hard to give a hard and fast rule. And then when you're ready, lift the hips high, press the feet down, and then ever so slightly create the action of pulling the heels towards you, which is going to activate your hamstring. You could stay here or clasp the hands. Maybe lift the chest a little bit higher as you do that. Slowly release. Take a moment. What we're doing, we're creating some space in the head and in the body at the start of a new day. Maybe you're doing this in the evening, will still work, of course. Round 2, bridge pose. If you'd like to do wheel pose, you can place the hands, lift up. I'm going to stay with bridge because it just seems like a better option for me right now. But if you're doing wheel, then by all means go for it. Lift the hips, press the feet, activate inner thighs and outer hips in equal measure, and breathe. And then slowly come back down if you haven't already. Nice. Straighten the left leg out, bend your right knee into the chest. And then stretch the right leg up. I like to hold the right big toe, but you can also hold behind the calf or behind the knee with your hands. You can bend that knee a little bit if you need to. All these options are fine. Take a moment to soften while you're keeping the minimum of tension needed to do the pose, of course. So slight activation of the left leg, which is down, and of course, right leg, right arm. Good. Release the right leg. Left knee into chest, squeeze it in. You might be staying here, this is a great pose, or you could stretch the left leg up, holding wherever you can. You can do the same with the strap. Of course, if your foot is a bit far away, don't worry about how exactly you get into these poses. Slowly release. If if you have some time, this would be amazing to just lie here for another couple of minutes, maybe 5 or 10 minutes, whatever you have time for. Shavasana. Or if you only had half an hour to start your day or to allocate to your practice, then start to bend your knees, roll over onto your side, and then come up to sitting. Another good option is to sit for a moment in a seated meditation before we rush out and allow all the pressures of the world to descend on us again. To keep the sense of calm, centeredness, active, confident, spacious feeling that we have created in just half an hour of time. Touch your hands to your forehead, to your heart, and bow to yourself on the mat. Namaste everyone, thank you so much for practicing, and I hope to see you here again soon. Take care.